I leave the stage to you, Emiko and Rie, and thank you very much for agreeing to do the talk today. It's a very interesting and fun talk. So, yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
Hello, everybody. I'm Amy, and nice to meet you. I used to be a tour guide, but right now it's very big fan of sumo, and so I'm very honored to make a presentation about this. But I'm just a fan, big fan. So today I have my friend Rie Inaba, and she's advisor. She's really expert. She guides people to sumo and writer. But she's also expert of furoshiki. Many Japanese the wrapping cloth. Well, so today I'm going to speak, but she is she's helping most of the pages for me. Hi, Rie. Okay.
Hi. Hi, I'm Rie. I'm a kind of small big fan. Not only wrestler, also yobidashi, kora, and gyoji, referee. All part of small. I love them. I live in Ryogoku. It's small area. I moved to here 20 years ago because of sumo. Please enjoy this time.
Okay, let's start. Okay. Okay. Well, do you like sumo? And have you ever watched sumo player? Well, many people have associated sumo as a kind of Japanese symbol. But actually, not many Japanese play this sport every day, of course. But everybody knows what it is. So what is sumo? Today, I'm going to explain about the very basic of sumo from 4 perspectives. First, how is sumo played? And second, what is their goal? And third, the secret of strength and why it is said national sport. Okay, so first, let's take a glance. Well, did you get it? It's very fast and it's very quick. For many sumo beginners, it's very hard to understand what is going on. So let me explain one by one. Okay, first, there is a ring, which is approximately 5 meters in diameter, formed by 20 rice straw bales. This ring is called dohyo because it's formed by rice straw bales filled with soil. The rule of sumo is very simple. Even babies can do. 2 wrestlers get into a ring and grapple each other. If one gets out of the ring, he will lose. Or if any part of his body except his hair touches the ground, he is also a loser. So very, very easy. That's it. The bout itself will finish in a minute, as you saw right now. The main characters of the sumo is first 2 wrestlers, of course, and 1 referee standing in the center, and 5 judges. Here you can see 3, but actually 5 judges in black kimono. All of them stable master and used to be very famous sumo wrestlers, and 1 ring caller. Now he's cleaning the ring, but his main job is to call up the wrestlers and also constructing the dohyo and doing many, many operational works. The order of one bout is first, a ring caller calls up wrestlers using his folding fan. Then two wrestlers step up on the ring. And third, a referee introduces both wrestlers to the audience using his special fan. Wow. And the fighting doesn't start quickly. The wrestlers don't start fighting, but they do a series of traditional ritualistic movements to purify the ring. Purification is very important because sumo originally offering to the god as part of a sacred offering. So they cleanse their mouth with water. They throw away a handful of salt to purify the ring. And they open their palms to show they don't have any weapons. And they stamp many times, which is to drive away evil spirits lurking under the ground. This is also for them to warm up. Then the referee tells them to make a starting position called shikiri. Well, the wrestlers squat and face each other with their fists on the ground in the center, crouch forward, glaring fiercely at each other. Well, but they don't start fighting at once. What's happening? Well, they repeat the same ritualistic movements again and again, usually until their time limit is up. Upper class wrestlers have 4 minutes time limit, middle class 3 minutes, lower class wrestler 1 minute. It's a kind of cold warfare. They wait for the psychological moment when they both feel ready. One of the 5 judges is actually also a timekeeper. When the time limit is almost closed, he sends a hand sign, and the ring caller hands a towel to the wrestler as a sign of time limit. Then the referee raises his fan and shouts, "Mata nashi" in Japanese. This meaning no more time. Then the time comes. The two wrestlers leap to charge, synchronizing their movement together. The fighting starts, but finish in the mid. So it's very fast as you saw today. And so it's quick, but for sumo beginners, it is very hard to understand its critical moment. So let me explain that there are 3 points to see. Well, first, initial attack. 2 big guys, almost the same size as one big bluefin tuna, clash with huge impact, which is much stronger than that of American football players. The main purpose here is to knock off the opponent's balance and by hitting him. If the opponent loses his balance, it is possible to push him out of the ring. Second, when both wrestlers remain in the ring, now a key component is the loincloth. If one can grab well the loincloth of the opponent, he would gain a big advantage of restricting the opponent's movement and dominating the game. The last thing to do is just instantly to use an appropriate finishing techniques to win. Well, right now, there are 82 official sumo winning techniques called kimarite. Well, among them, the most popular one is number 1 is frontal push out, and then force out, and 3 is a slap down. But there are many others, like overarm throw or pulling body slam. Unlike boxing or Western wrestling, in sumo, there are no weight limits. So it's possible for a tiny wrestler to win against a huge opponent twice his size using skillful techniques. It's fun. Of course, there are official fouls. Knocking out with fists, no. Eye gouging, pulling top knot of hair, no. Choking and kicking in the stomach or chest are prohibited. One funny point is, if the loincloth of a wrestler is falling off to the ground, he will lose the game. Unfortunately, I have never seen that, but it would be very embarrassing, I think. So, as I said, the bout itself is a matter of seconds, but it's very important, critical moment for each wrestler to climb a ladder to the top. So, what is their goal? What is the top? The top title of sumo is called yokozuna. Maybe you have heard. Yokozuna is actually relatively new title in the long history of sumo. It was created in 18th century to dramatize this sumo more and fun. Well, so for example, you can see here on the left side is Tanikaze, the virtually first yokozuna signed in 1789. His size was 189 centimeters tall and 162 kilograms weight, almost the same size as the current sumo wrestlers. The average height of a man then was shorter than now, so he must be look very huge, I think. On the right hand, this is the real size panel of the current yokozuna, Hakuho. Hakuho is now is doing very good. Now is under the Nagoya tournament. He is winning 192 centimeters tall and 157 kilograms. The man between two men is me. I was standing one step lower than yokozuna, but you can see the size. Now there are 677 wrestlers in Japan in sumo world, and each wrestler has a rank according to their performance, like professional tennis players. There are 6 tournaments in a year, the 3 times in Tokyo, 1 time in Osaka, July now in Nagoya, and November in Fukuoka. Each tournament consists of 15 days. Each wrestler in high class has only 1 bout per day. Lower class wrestlers have 1 bout every other day, so 7 bouts. If one can win more than half, he will be promoted his rank for the next tournament. If he loses more than half, he will be demoted. For example, if the day in the middle of tournament, day 8, if he wins 4 days and 4 days lose, he must win more 4 days to be promoted. The ranking system is a truly bottom-up. There are 677 wrestlers in Japan, and most of them start from the bottom, and with some exceptions. For bottom groups, about 90% of all wrestlers are kind of the farm of American Major League Baseball, and upper than this blue line, Jibyo and Makuuchi are high class of sumo and seen as a full recognized man of sumo called sekitori. The top of top is yokozuna. Until this blue line, most of them actually almost get no money except some allowance for chores, even though they are called professional. When one gets promoted to judo blue line, first time ever, they get monthly salary, 11,000 US dollars. If they go up more into the upper division called Makuuchi, then more money. The top title, Yokozuna, is given about 30,000 US dollars per month. A huge difference, isn't it? In sumo, the rank determines everything, not only money, but also honorable social status, including the order of training, food and drink, kimono clothes, attendance, the use of automobile, or the first class seat of airplanes. Of course, there are not general salaried workers, but fighters. The bottom line for them is a victory. In addition to the monthly salary, the champion of tournament will get the championship prize about 100,000 US dollars and more, including the Emperor's Cup and champion flag, and 1 year of rice, 1 year of sake, 1 year of mushroom, 1 cow of Japanese Wagyu, many prizes from foreign embassies, and so on. Separately, for tournament, some wrestlers who show the great technique or spirit awards, they can get some special bonus. Well, for your information, for this part of the tournament, Yokozuna, the top title, is not always the champion, although he's expected to win. Sometimes Yokozuna is defeated by his rivals, like second rank wrestler, or he himself is absent due to injuries. The position as Yokozuna is quite unique. Other wrestlers, if they lose a lot, they will be demoted. But Yokozuna can never demoted, even if he makes a poor performance. Instead, should he continue with a bad record, he is expected to retire. To become Yokozuna, he must have won 2 consecutive tournaments or equivalent record while holding the rank of number 2 Ozeki. But not only that, he must have proven himself a man of character worthy to hold such an honorable position. Who decides the promotion to Yokozuna? There is a panel of Yokozuna Deliberation Council. It's a kind of advisory panel of the Sumo Association. The demand is pretty high, consistent great performance and dignity as well. This always creates huge discussion about the promotion and eligibility. What is dignity anyway? Well, Hakuho, the current Yokozuna, once told that a truly strong wrestler can reach to the second rank. However, it's not enough to become Yokozuna. It's destiny. Yes, the time of injuries, the mental strength, social circumstances like now, it's very hard. Well, in sumo world, there is a golden mantra for all sumo wrestlers. 3 key requisite components for victories are power, techniques, and mental strength. In Japanese, shin, gi, tai. This has long been believed as an essential principle in sumo. So, how can they become strong enough? What is the secret of strength? Well, to become professional sumo wrestler, first, applicants must belong to a sumo stable and have a master. And they have to pass a physical examination organized by the Japan Sumo Association. The minimum requirements are 167 centimeters tall and over, 67 kilograms weight and over, complete junior high school in Japan, and also, at this stage, only males for the professional sumo. For amateur sumo, we have women's sumo tournaments though. Of course, 67 kilograms is not enough to win. The average weight of upper class is nearly 160 kilograms. So the first thing to do for skinny newcomers to build a robust body, otherwise he would be crushed out of the ring easily and even dangerous. But at the same time, as you know, an untrained fat big body is also dangerous. Hard to manage his heavy body, the slow movement, and more prone to injuries too. So, sumo wrestlers, maybe you have heard, do unique traditional trainings and have very special dietary habits for building the body. To learn these basic, all new wrestlers are required to study at sumo, official sumo training school, at least for 6 months. Well, for foreign wrestlers, 1 year. The training include not only offensive attacks, but also defensive techniques to absorb opponent's power. core basic exercise are forms of grappling and stamping called Siko. Siko is particularly important to train the lower body. This is a key to development of a lower body stable enough against massive pressure and develop flexible muscle, not causing injuries. But young wrestlers sometimes don't like to repeat this too simple practice and prefer doing modern trainings, but this will really affect their performance in the end. Well, 10 small basic movements they learn here are ritual squat, water purification, stamping, leg stretching, starting position, offensive forms, defensive forms, belt grabbing move, and bending backward, and manners in the ring. And they also take education about history of sumo, Japanese, including calligraphy, social studies, disciplines for martial art and sports medicine. Every day after the training, they sing a song of training in chorus. And this creates the sense of unity. So this is interesting, isn't it? So all wrestlers start from this small school, but after that, anyway, everybody stayed in sumo stables called heya. There are about 42 heya in Japan, and they have shisho, mentor, and okami-san, his wife. And it's like a training in dormitory. And then the modern days of heya, training small stables, they have a ring on the first floor, and second and third floor, they live together. The life is very simple, and I wake up, and after that, immediately 3 or 4 group training, and they take a bath and clean the ring, and they have a big meal together, and they take a nap, and then again, free time, meal, free time, sleep, and next day. So it's very simple. And the morning group training is very important. So they do kind of a very similar practice like grappling or siko, and then starting from basic forms from lower class wrestlers. Let's look just one scene. And here, the man in white loincloth is upper class, and others in black loincloth is lower class. So they're really willing to practice with him. Well, here, now, I'm sure all of you are curious about chanko, the famous meal of sumo wrestlers. Chanko refers to all food prepared by wrestlers in each small stable. Not only a hot pot, Italian pasta, fried noodles, ramen, hamburger, and ice cream, all we termed chanko. It's prepared by low-class wrestlers themselves, and then in charge of chanko, the duty is rotated. Well, regardless rank, they share the same food from the same pot. Well, actually, because of COVID-19, they are served individually, but they share the moment. The group meal is eaten only twice a day, only twice. After the hard training, when their metabolic rate is high, it's the right timing to absorb nutrition to turn into the muscle. wrestlers eat lots of rice, which is fair enough to sustain their hard exercise. The most popular image for you probably would be a kind of a large size of chunk of hot pot for all. And chunk hot pot for all is a kind of a relatively new, developed in 19th century when the nutritious level was very poor to facilitate all wrestlers with inexpensive but lots of vegetable and meat. Although some people have a negative image, chanko is a giant meal with too fat and lack of nutrition balance. Actually, it is not. Hot pot itself is very healthy and well organized in nutrition with minerals and vitamins and proteins. But you may say, well, I had lots of unhealthy issues linked with obesity. Yes, we have some cases like heart problems, diabetes, or knee injuries, and average longevity is shorter than the average of Japanese. There are several reasons. First, dietary changes. The dietary habits changed dramatically and after World War II. The average weight of wrestlers increased 50 kilograms after the end of World War II. Young wrestlers like to eat beef, junk food, sweets. Also, there had been prevalent heavy drinking habits entertained for sponsors and fans. So, long time lack of sense of nutrition. Also, some wrestlers don't like repeat simple traditional training. Some wrestlers really get bored to repeat these things, and so in the end, lack of training. And also the dramatic change of life after retirement is a big problem. After retirement, the sumo wrestler's life returns to the standard life, but some people fail to adjust their new metabolic cycle to the normal standard life. So it's big difference. But recently, many wrestlers understand and they started to review and even reform the style, keeping the core of sumo. I think sumo has never been pioneer in the society with changing value, but they try to adjust it to the time, like government, democracy, or globalization, or technology, or and so on. So this is one of the reasons why this classic sport has remained for so long. So soon, maybe we'll see sumo with just skinny wrestlers. Okay, so now why it is said national sport? Uh, well, the sumo is called national sport, but actually there's no provision, no such a provision of law. But generally speaking, it is variable in Japanese culture, and it is one of the three optional mandatory education of national martial arts in all Japanese junior high schools, and even it is strongly partly subsidized by the government. The history of sumo dates back to more than 1500 years ago. Originally, it had been played as a kind of religious ritual to pray for harvest and drive away evil spirits. Then uh, the word sumo derived from the word wrestling, sumau, and then now sumo. And later, this wrestling was elevated to an official ceremonial banquet called Suma Inosechi, which was performed in the imperial court. According to the Nihon Shoki, the oldest existing chronicles of Japan, in 734, Nomino Sukune, a warrior from countryside, made a victory in front of emperor. Since then, Nomino Sukune was recalled as the god of sumo, sometimes the god of national sport. His image is now displayed at the east gate of the National Sports Stadium, which is to host the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. Well, right now, no spectators, so we cannot see that. But near the main small stadium, there is a Nomino Sukune Shinto shrine, where Even now, a newly promoted top wrestler Yokozuna performs a grand ritual. Later, the real power of the nation was transferred to military dictatorships. Leaders of all types, of course, love to watch the game of power, including Oda Nobunaga, famous military leader, and shoguns of the Edo. In the Edo period, the government gave permission for temples and Shinto shrines to organize sumo tournaments to raise donations. The current rules of forms of sumo and organizer Japan Sumo Association have its origins in this period. This is, you can see, the sketch is from Hokusai sketch. Do you know Katsushika Hokusai? A famous guy, artist for 36 views of Mount Fuji. He was born and spent most of his life near sumo arena. Like this, sumo has continued to be the most popular sport for long. And still, we can see many time-honored aspects in today's sumo. For example, the style of sumo wrestlers are haircut. During the tournament, you will see wrestlers to and from the arena, sometimes on train. The lower wrestlers wear chonmage, a plain style tied with Japanese paper string, which was the standard hairstyle for everybody, all men, in the Edo period. The style worn by upper class was called o-ichomage, meaning big ginkgo leaf, because the top knot is supposed to resemble big leaf of big ginkgo leaf. This is made using a couple of special combs and fixed with vegetable wax like geisha one. They do this hairstyle in 24 hours all the year. And they wear kimono always outside the sumo stable. Well, inside the sumo stable or near the small stables like 7-Eleven, they can wear t-shirts, but always this top knot. And when they go to the sumo tournament, sumo wrestlers are not allowed to use Western style bags, but always with a traditional wrapping cloth furoshiki. Do you know furoshiki? Furoshiki is traditional, super eco-friendly textile, a one-piece of cloth, which is versatile for various purposes, like carrying any size of things or wrapping gifts and spread out and on the floor. And this is washable and come in wide variety of color and textile. And that value is now reviewed and promoted by the Tokyo governor as a super ideal item of SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. But sumo wrestlers know that, have made the most of it for long. And loincloth, which is now a famous uniform of sumo wrestlers, which actually derives from fundoshi, which had been the standard traditional underwear under kimono for all Japanese men. Probably my great-grandfather used that. And some wrestlers use different types of loincloths according to the occasion. For training, a simple loincloth made of hard cotton and a lower class dyed in black and upper class in white. For official tournaments, lower class wear the same one, but higher class use special one not made of cotton, made of Hakata woven special satin silk and dyed in a variety of color. Both of them are tuck straps hanging in front. This is a kind of just for decoration. Used to be like a short apron to cover the bottom, but for mobility, they changed to straps. And more. There is a famous decorative ceremony every day for tournament. And for that, the wrestlers use a special loincloth called keshomawashi. This decorative ceremonial apron-like loincloth is for ring entering ceremony for all upper class wrestlers. They come into the ring around nearly 4 o'clock, and then they show their body to audience they raise their hands to show they don't have any weapons. All of them made of a special silk and embroidered and handmade, very expensive, sometimes using diamond. Usually supporters have it produced to commemorate a promotion was like that. And it's very interesting and beautiful, it's art. And after that, Yokozuna and two wrestlers on top of loincloth, they use some special hem and they do some ritualistic ritual for as a part of the ring entering ceremony. The purpose is to drive away evil spirits with dignity. Well, not only wrestlers, the costume of referee always attracts people's attention. Beautiful. The fabric of the attire is made of silk and woven in special traditional style called karaori. That is the same as intangible World Heritage Cultural performance, no traditional performance. And they have ranks, low-class referees barefoot, and then gradually socks with a sandal, and the top of top referees has short dagger sword here because he has huge responsibility. So he's not supposed to make a wrong decision. If he has a short sword, and so he has short sword, actually it's made of bamboo here, that if the decision is overturned, he's supposed to harakiri, commit suicide. Of course, no one have ever done that, but it's just a like determination. Yeah. So it's very interesting to see each item of all sumo arena. And these referees actually also great calligrapher. Well, this is banzuke, is ranking list. All wrestlers' name is on one sheet of Japanese paper with beautiful calligraphy without any mistake. This is done by top referee. And then you can see big letter is for upper class wrestlers. The tiny, tiny wrestler, these are for lower class wrestlers. And also it includes the name of hairstylist or referees or judges and many people. Beautiful. And just for your information, this style of calligraphy is kind of called Edo style, and there's different styles. The meaning of this style is bold character, meaning no more space, no more seats, sold out, big success of the performance. And then for sumo and for kabuki, famous Japanese theater performance, and yosei, another traditional Japanese storytelling performance, looks similar, but there are slightly different style in style. This is very big trivia. Yeah. And another charming feature is yobidashi, ring chorus. But if you go to sumo arena, you can hear the voice of sumo ring chorus. Many people think this is a song, but actually not song. They're calling the name of the wrestler. In older days, there are no VPN, no radio, no internet, you know. So that's oops. And so they use the wooden clappers or even drums, and then singers are calling to tell the people of the important timing or attracting people. They are very busy. I mean, ring chorus. Not only these things, they construct the dohyo ring itself, and they're cleaning a lot. So very busy. So look at this kimono pants. This is another traditional and used to be very common style kimono pants for busy people, like ninja, yeah, tatsuke bakama, it is said. You can see here. Yeah, so if you have come to Japan and no ticket, but if you have a chance, I would recommend to go to Dohyo Matsuri, which is supposed to do 1 day in advance of tournament, free of charge, no reservation. You just go there and you can see a very authentic the ritual. The referees in attire of priests come into the ring and they reclaimed auspicious items like mushroom or rice, and then top with pour sake on top of it. And these offerings continue to remain under the ring for the entire tournament under the big fighting. And there's a similar idea actually still remains in Japanese culture, like including wedding ceremony. Well, and also the colorful tassels hung from the roof. This means 4 sacred creatures on each corner, invisible, from the idea of ancient Chinese geomancy, 4 invisible sacred creatures believed to protecting the space. Blue dragon, black turtle, red phoenix, and white tiger. The idea of using geomancy was applied for many traditional architectures, not only sumo. Well, last but not least, also if you can go to sumo tournament, please stay until the very last of the minute. Every day except the closing day, there is a bow dance. One wrestler using a bow and then do a special dance. And originally, the winner was awarded with bow, and to express his joy, he did that. Nowadays, a selected wrestler does this for all victorious wrestlers for the day. So as you can see, there are so many to see in sumo that these are just part of all kinds of sumo attractions. Please come and feel this charming tradition. Well, tickets are available on the website, and recommendation is NHK World Ground Sumo on internet. You can watch the game now every day, short digest, but it's really good, and with English speaking commentators, very good, and you can watch the game. And also, if you come to Japan, you can go to Sumo Museum if it's open. You can see the history and also sometimes local tournaments. Well, sumo training of sumo stable is very famous and popular, but it's very difficult, especially now under the COVID-19. And even general days, until the very the 1 day in advance, it is hard to see whether you can see or not. One of my recommendation is this book, The Perfect Guide of Sumo to Sumo. This is the best of best, and it's written by the former referee, and in Japanese and English, it's really nice, beautiful picture, and even the recipe of chanko. Well, thank you for your attendance. I hope this will give you some interesting information on sumo. I'd like to thank you also, Rie-san. Without her advice and help, this would not be completed. We love sumo. Let's watch sumo together. Okay. Back to Jojo.
Thank you, Emiko-san. That was very interesting and a lot of fun. So now we'll have a short question and answer session. So first of all, a reminder to the attendees that if you want to ask a question, you can do that via the chat function that's now displayed on your on the screen. But let's go with the first question. Emiko, you mentioned that Ryogoku is the area of sumo, also where Rie-san lives. Where in Tokyo is Ryogoku located?
Yes, there is a big river called Sumida-gawa River near if you come to Tokyo, and this is opposite side of Asakusa. From Tokyo Station, in 20 minutes on train, or maybe 10 minutes on train, you can go there. It's very easy, and yeah, Ryogoku.
Okay, thank you. So One question about the accommodation. You mentioned that the sumo wrestlers live in the heya, in the stables.
Yes.
So do they live there with their families, or how does this affect their married life?
That's very interesting. Well, usually most of them single, and they are until especially lower class, and then without family, they so they say single, they live together. But when they get married, they are allowed to go out, and especially upper class wrestlers, usually they can live outside, and because the lower class wrestlers don't get any money, so usually they cannot get married. But Lee-san, do you have some explanation? 結婚してもいられますよね。いや、結婚したらいられないですよね。Okay. So if they get married, they can go outside. But usually they are single when they are lower class.
Okay. And maybe related to this, there's another question about the lifespan. So what is the usual retirement age of sumo wrestler?
Well, right now, the oldest one, 45 or nearly 50 years, but he's exceptional. Usually around 35 or 36. Average age is 28.
Of the sumo wrestler, and retirement 35 or so.
Yeah. So, well, except Yokozuna, when they are going to be demoted, and when they get older, and then when they go under the blue line, the lower class, that means again they get no more money. So usually they get retired and to start some restaurant of chanko or other things.
Thank you. Related to the retirement age, what can a sumo wrestler expect to do after retirement?
Yeah, depending on the people, many people live in the industry related to sumo. And for example, if you go to sumo arena, all of them, most of all of them used to be sumo wrestlers. So it's like a big family business. So they help and the training sumo wrestlers or doing help operational works or becoming a professional commentator or doing some starting to gym or separate work or back to the countryside.
I see. Thank you. We have a question. Do audience members in the front row ever get injured by the wrestlers as they fall out of the ring?
Yes, well, sometimes it's very dangerous. Well, near the ring is very expensive, but also very dangerous. So I heard that near the front part, the nearest part of the ring, they have to sign a waiver for injuries.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that was from Peru. There's a question from Gary and Gail in California. They say, hello, Emiko-san, wonderful presentation. We hope to see you soon. And the question is this, the hard training you mentioned for the sumo wrestlers, does it affect the lifespan of the sumo wrestlers themselves? From Norman.
Well, I don't think the hard training does affect, but more kinds of because of lack of training, the injuries or lack of management nutrition, those are kinds of affecting the lifestyle as that.
Because the proper training addresses the flexibility and the strength of the body, so it makes sense. So there's another question I have here, which is an interesting one. So in many sports, athletes have a signature move, like the footballers could have a killer pass, or do sumo wrestlers have their own signature move to win their matches?
Yeah, of course, they have to do from 82 official the winning techniques. And as I said, most people do the same things, but like Hakuho, the Yokozuna, he has lots of different techniques. So that is one of the reasons why he can remain. But also tiny wrestlers and or some guy, the famous guy in Japan, Ura, U-R-A, and he likes really wrestling, including Western wrestling. So using backward or some different parts, it's very special, which few people sing, and it's very interesting, from low angle. So yes, some people have the signature move. It's very interesting.
Interesting. Thank you. Another question about the over here. Sorry, I'm scrolling on my other device. About the judges now and the referees, how do they progress in their career? So, what were they doing before, or for example?
Judges used to be right now small stable masters. The 5 judges selected from small stable masters, but referee built their career independently. They are not used to be they are not small wrestlers. So they most of the time, depending on the time, if I'm wrong, so please tell me, Rie-san. What I know is referees, most of people, including ring caller, they love sumo, and they go to the sumo stable, and they belong to sumo stable. So then they starting referees live from the bottom, I think.
Interesting. So one question about the wrestler themselves: do they get injured easily?
Well, depending on the training, yeah, like the Djokovic of tennis player, you know. So the strong guy usually don't make injuries because they are training a lot.
I see.
I think not only sports, but it applies for everything.
For life, yes, definitely. One question again is about the average age of the wrestlers when they die. What's the expected life expectancy?
Wow, I have about the reason. Do you know the hint? I heard, well, 60 or 65 or something, but because no statistic including retired wrestlers, so we know the average age of the current wrestlers. But, yeah.
Interesting. Couple more questions. About women who play sumo, do they train in the same way as the men? And what outfit do they wear?
Well, t-shirts or training. Yes. They don't have any special loincloths. They have t-shirts or training jacket or some training. Not judogi. But
it's only amatorial, and it's not something that it's not professional sports. It's just amateur.
Not yet, but we don't know. Future.
The future, maybe. So I think we've answered pretty much all the questions, and somebody actually just confirmed through an internet search that 60 years old is the average age of on a survey of about 100 sumo wrestlers for their life expectancy. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your questions. And Emiko-san and Ria-san, thanks for today's presentation on sumo. I went to see it once, and I was totally, like the very first time I went to see it, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about Japanese culture. And it was a shocking, in a good way, experience. And I didn't realize that the most fun part of the game is actually before the match. It's the anticipation and all these psychological battle that goes on between the wrestlers who intimidate one another through noise and moves and the purification and so on. So that was really fascinating, and I can appreciate why people are so passionate about it. But maybe I can ask Emiko-san, when did your passion for sumo begin?
Well, I like people and history. So initially, like others, I thought it's just a game of fat people, and I didn't like it. But I started to understand it's kind of we can see like time machine, the real life of Edo period in front of you. And then gradually, if you have interest, I recommend you get to know the life of each individual sumo wrestlers. So they have a different life, and it's very interesting. So that's why.
Thank you. And how did you and Ria met? How did you meet? Sorry. Through sumo?
Well, no.
Okay.
The Rie-san was first the teacher of kimono. Yes.
I remember now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't meet through sumo, but you shared the passion for sumo.
City or the coast. So she really likes textiles using the cotton or silk and many things. And then she had a class. So
yes, and then you realize you both love sumo.
The second time I met, she was guiding people in sumo arena.
Oh, lovely.